Mike Gray for an interview too.
I think we are.
Okay, very good.
Please introduce yourself.
My name's Don Duncan. I'm with Americans for Safe Access.
And what's the goal of your organization?
We actually work on medical cannabis issues, making sure that cannabis is available for people who are sick and dying, who need it for therapy and also for research.
And Prop 215 was important in your efforts, wasn't it?
Very much. It's the landmark medical cannabis voter initiative from 1996.
And how's that been working out in West Hollywood prior to this action?
It's been outstanding. West Hollywood has always been a leader in medical marijuana.
And what's the relationship between medical marijuana and the decision that was made today by the West Hollywood City Council to direct the sheriffs not to spend so much time focusing on the small marijuana possession amounts?
Well, tonight's resolution by the West Hollywood City Council is not about medical marijuana, and yet it's important to the patients because anything that turns down the pressure on medical cannabis patients by turning down the pressure on marijuana in general is useful. And so the patients support this by an overwhelming majority.
What have you thought about and said to people about now that the sheriff will not be concentrating on focusing on people with small amounts of marijuana? Where do they get it? Do they grow it? Can they buy it? Is it a problem that they can have it when they have it but they can't buy it? What are those issues, and how does that relate to the medical marijuana dynamics for those same questions?
Well, it's very important to remember that marijuana for non-medical purposes remains illegal under the state law. And so if you're not a medical marijuana patient, you cannot possess it or smoke it legally. And nothing in this resolution is intended to encourage people to break the law or to behave in a way that's detrimental to the neighborhoods. What we're trying to do here is clarify law enforcement priorities and set a standard for the state of California too.
In your organizational efforts, how important is it to decriminalize marijuana on the federal or state level as another way of taking pressure off medical marijuana patients?
Well, the medical marijuana issue stands on its own. It's a separate issue. I mean, most people in the United States support the use of medical marijuana. Decriminalization has to do with the priorities in our community about where we're going to spend our law enforcement resources. And that's really what the resolution is about tonight.
I had a long interview a few weeks ago with a professor who did study about the medical benefits of marijuana, who made the argument that there aren't many, and that most of those benefits could be achieved by other drugs. Make the case for why medical marijuana is an essential drug to be used in the treatment of various conditions.
The Institute of Medicine commissioned what was the largest to date research project on medical cannabis, and what they found is that medical cannabis has a variety of uses that are very important and very unique, especially in its smoked form for some patients. In fact, this is not surprising because every major review of marijuana policy has shown us that it has value and that it's not necessary for it to be a Schedule I drug. And so the doctor who's concluded that there's no value is certainly in a minority in his field.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to wrap up really soon.
Thanks very much.
Is that it?
That's it, thanks.
I'm very impressed with that technology. That's great.
Tell us what you think the significance of what was voted on this resolution in West Hollywood in the larger picture of medical marijuana and the larger picture of marijuana decriminalization.
I hope what we accomplished here tonight was to set a standard for good policy regarding marijuana in the state of California.
If people want to get more information about your organization, you have a website?
If people want to read more about this organization in particular, they can go to commonsensefordrugpolicy.com.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.